Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Connell McGill. I'm co-founder, CEO of a company called Enertiv. I'll give you a little bit of background. I went to Babson College. I studied entrepreneurship, and I knew I wanted to build a company that was big and impactful. This was about a decade ago. So I joined a company as an intern called Momentum Bay Consulting, and my first assignment was installing a building management system. I learned very quickly that these systems provided very little transparency into how properties were run. Engineers struggled to gain value from these solutions, and then figured out that only about 10% of the assets in the US have these systems in place. So we've been through two key chapters as a company. The first 5 years of our history, we spent developing hardware and sensors to expose equipment level performance data in all different kinds of assets. But just about 2.5 years ago, we really found product market fit. So today, we are focused on transforming real-time building data, as well as static information, into asset value for the largest, most innovative operators of commercial real estate. And we were a Techstars company. We were one of the first connected devices players in the ecosystem. We went through Metaprop, and that's what sort of fueled our pivot to focus on direct sales to commercial real estate. Fifth Wall, the largest investor, VC fund in real estate technology based down the road on Abbott Kinney, made their earliest stage investment into Enertiv. And we have two amazing strategic investors, some of the largest owners of real estate in Manhattan, which is where we're based, behind us. So generally speaking, building operations haven't evolved in the last 50 years. Owners have no clue what's happening at the asset level. They put a lot of trust into their operators who assure them that everything's running perfectly. But having plugged into several thousand assets, I can assure you that things are not running perfectly. There's also now a lot of competition in real estate. So for the first time, owners are really looking at opportunities to reduce operating expenses, and to do that, you really need transparency into where energy costs and maintenance costs are flowing. And the scariest part of all, working with many of the top operators in the country, these landlords are having an increasingly difficult time finding engineers to run these buildings. So these buildings are going to need to run on a software platform, and that software platform is Enertiv. So what we've done is we're an IoT-powered operations platform for commercial real estate. So we look for pen and paper processes, or processes that are entirely reactive, and we try to power them with real-time data. So we take a data-first approach to processes such as tenant billing and invoicing for utilities, such as predicting critical equipment failures, elevators, pumps, chillers, such as using equipment data to drive maintenance schedules for operators, equipment data to confirm that third-party service providers are performing maintenance at the asset level. These are questions that were really challenging to answer until recently. So the way our software experience works, once the sensor infrastructure is in place, which only takes 2 to 5 days per building, is the operators are basically given turn-by-turn guidance. Think what Google Maps does for navigation, but for building operations, prioritizing and triaging the highest value add tasks on a daily basis. That activity and their performance, whether it's in-house management or third-party services companies like your JLLs, your CBREs, your Cushman & Wakefield's, that's all rolled up to a portfolio level dashboard where operators for the first time can see KPIs like, how long does it take my teammates or team members to address these issues? How well are they addressing these issues? Where are there opportunities to reduce operating expenses? What are we forecasting CapEx to look like based on end-of-life predictions at the asset level in each property? So it's really valuable information. And since we've pivoted, we've become the leading player in the space. We now have 63 top commercial real estate portfolios on our platform. We've never lost a customer since we've moved in, and about 65% are now scaling this across their portfolios. We're focused on multifamily high-rise apartment portfolios, office portfolios, industrial, mostly last mile distribution centers, and hospitality portfolios. And so within each of those categories, we're working with one of the top 3 largest landlords globally by total square footage. And the most interesting thing here is that we've captured 6 billion hours of equipment level performance data, a data stream that's never really been looked at, and that is what fuels our insights and our ML-based algorithms, which are telling operators exactly what to do to ensure properties are operating at peak performance. And if we were to stop acquiring new customers tomorrow, we'd have about 30,000 properties that we could scale into, but that's not what we're doing. We're actually bringing about 3 to 4 new portfolios on every single month. So we're seeing about 270% net retention after 1 year across all customer cohorts. We sell top down. When I'm not at fundraising, I'm sitting down with the owners of the largest portfolios in the US, as well as globally, and then we try to scale our solutions through the portfolio. This is all new revenue since 2017 when we pivoted. We're on track to do about 1.2 million in ARR this year, about 3.2 million in top line revenue. We think that by next year, depending on the timing of a raise, we can do about 8 to 10 million in top line. We're in about 20 states. We're servicing Canada and Mexico, opportunities in Europe and Asia. And that's the split between property categories. Markets, massive, $21 billion market for software revenue in the US, $100 billion globally. And we're raising our Series A to accelerate deployments nationally and to basically keep up with our growing customer base and to continue iterating on our software and platform. Thanks.